Can you all hear me? Yes, hear me and yes, online, please. Can you all hear me? Can someone
Yes,
talk?
sir. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
can.
Right, checking again. Hope you can see me and hear me.
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you. Thank you for your responsiveness, and we hope everyone is safe. If there is any one who is not contactable, I mean, those who are connected to the class, you can inform us. No, we can consider them separately. And if there is any help, we shall help them as well, right? So that you have to keep an alert on your friends, those who are known to you. This is the importance of coming for classes physically. No, if you get affected, there are some more that you know. Right now, when you're online, even if you are in need of any help, in any case, right? It may not be any flood or whatever it is. You don't know the network. That's why I have been telling you for you to come for lectures, because your parents, your relations, the other friends, they are important. Yes, I know, right? But this academic friendship is also needed for life, right? So that's why we have been talking of the importance of coming for classes physically. Of course, we understand there are some limitations for some people, right? Now, I think I explained this. We have economic responsibilities, that is for shareholders and others as a company. Then we have legal responsibilities to pay salaries, right? And gratuity and all the other, maybe taxes and all those things, right? We are under legal responsibility. Then we have some ethical responsibilities. If someone is sick in our employment, we can look after, right? And we have ethical responsibilities towards maybe our customers, right? To give information, enough information, right? uh, Something like that. Now, this is the philanthropic responsibilities. You are not bound by any of these things. By your heart you do, and yes, do some welfare for the others. It doesn't have to be any of these shareholders. Actually, it normally it goes beyond the territory of the shareholders, and you go and help them. No, that is, now in a situation like this, many companies can get involved in their CSR. Maybe, yes, giving some full stop, putting some full stop for their scheduled what, Christmas party and all those things, right? Everything, right? Even poor celebrations can be called off temporarily, so that if you have planned to do some work with some money, it can be employed in this kind of charity, because this is an hour of emergency and urgency, right? So that is actually coming under philanthropic responsibilities, no, right? But you, in a country like Sri Lanka, you have to be little vigilant as well, to make sure that the money that you are giving on charity is serving the purpose is something that you have to look into, no? You can switch it on, right? The other one if needed, right? So that is the other aspect of, right? You should not do charity indiscriminately. Can හොයන්න බලන්න නැතුව හේ කරන එක, that is not charity, that is something that you are run by emotions. So since we have come across with this philanthropic pillar, philanthropic how can we say layer that I talk about this. So in my opinion, best thing is, if it is possible for you to go and do some work by yourself, if it is I mean practical. If that is not practical, then you can think of some families and maybe you can help, yes, directly if it is possible, unless you have some reliable channel for you to do some charity, right? So even for a company, that is there. So that is the importance of corporate social responsibility, right? So performance. Now we have business approaches to corporate social performance. There is another word coming, right? Having social policies leading to social programs with measurable social impact. So now when the social responsibility is in action, we can call it basically what? Performance of corporate social responsibility. You can call it what? So corporate social performance. That is something in action. Now we have, yes, in a situation like this, if you have come across with some needy people and the management or the board has discussed and come to a decision that we should be helping that village people, right? Now when that action is when that decision is put on action, we call it what? Corporate social performance. So for that we need policies, we need programs, and we need to make a social impact. So this is something. So you need to have policies for charity and social work, and you should be, yes, implementing reliable, actionable, and what can we say, result delivering programs, right? Then we should make an impact. That's why I told you, when you are making a charity, we should be care of, yes, our policy is good. Right? Even our programs might be good, we go and give it to someone else, but whether we are making a real impact is, right, is questionable. So it does not mean that you have to refrain from all your charities without doing an audit, re-audit, right? You can do that, but if you are actually if you contributing some significant amount, especially as a company, right, you have to be careful with what? The impact that it makes. No, otherwise money is in vain. So we don't want our money to be wasted in vain, right? There might be certain programs with good qualities not delivering the expected results, right? This happened to no, many of our governments as well, no? So they have some policies maybe to eradicate poverty, right? And the program is implemented, but for the program that they have given very less amount, or they have given big amount, and that has not been making any impact, right? maybe the inaugural ceremony has absorbed 10 times of the program's budget that we have observed, no? So we have to make sure that we are making a real impact on this. Please have a look at this and ask if there is anything. Right. Clear? Yeah, now these two are very clear, self-explanatory. Actually, now if you have invested on something, if you have, we'll say, some program on education, right? So you may be giving away some books, or maybe you're as a company you're constructing or building some computer lab. So the results are of qualitative data, no? Because we might not be able to take the quantitative data there itself. How many, maybe after a couple of years you can measure it, how many have got selected to university, and how many have got jobs in the computer field, something like. But difficult to measure is there, right? Because you are doing something qualitative work which will definitely give some results in the future. You are not that interested in measuring. But now if you have done some survey before the program, right, and if you have realized that this need is there, this school really needs a computer lab, and if they are given, right, there might be people, students who will get selected to university because of that, and if not university, they will at least get what, some job opportunities. So if that survey has been done clearly, you can be sure of that your charity work, social responsibility work will bring enough results. So UN is promoting CSR programs, right? And they have 18,000 signatories, might have been their counterparts for their agreements, right? Firm prefer voluntary codes of conduct, right? So this is actually UN is engaged on this kind of what do you call these CSR programs and getting sponsorships. So that is what they are talking. You don't have to worry that much, right? So there was greenwashing strategy where companies overemphasize positive aspects of their environmental records to mask their actual performance. Now, at 2002 Earth Summit in Johannesburg, a group of NGOs held a Greenwash Academy Awards event to criticize companies that falsely promote themselves as environmentally responsible, and to recognize these companies for their what they are. Yes, hypocrites are who? Those who are in single vachanati, you say something and you do something opposite to it. No? You say that you look after your parents, so caring, but when you visit them, you see how they are carrying on. No? So most of these politicians are hypocrites, right? They show us one face, right? And their real face is behind that, and yes, they have no what do you call mm, a principled life, right? They are called hypocrites. කුහක hypocrism කියලත් කියන්න පුළුවන් කුහකවාදය කියලා. It can be clergy, it can be lay people, it can be professionals, that you show your very how can we say, very humane, very understanding, very caring, and your real face is something very different, right? So this is what the hypocrites in environmental records, that they show companies that they are very environmental responsible, environmental friendly, and we don't emit, we don't put waste outside, right? We are so concerned about, but the real nature is what? That they are not into that practice. So world has taken now that is something related to what? Something related to CSR. That's why we are talking, because as a CSR project now, if something is not covered by law, if something is not covered by economic responsibility, and still that you say, right, we are not under ethical responsibility, we are not under legal responsibility, but still we have covered all our fumes without emitting to the environment. So we boast, right? But actual picture is different, right? Maybe sometimes we maintain this much of hygiene level in our factory, something like, right? We boast, right? And that is called green washing. Harita Shodhane, right? So at the 2000, so this is Mihitala Samulu Earth Summit, right? If I am not mistaken, they have their summit every 10 years time. 10 or 5? No idea, right? So this has been critically, this has been strongly dealt with, right? What those who boast as they are very environmental friendly, very environmental responsible, has been dealt with by the Earth Summit itself, right? Instead of action, corporate philanthropy, codes of conduct, social and environmental reporting, community investment, stakeholder engagement, public consultation, NGO dialogue, advertising campaigns, right? So even though they have taken all these measures, right? Instead of action, instead of taking any action, they boast, right? That is what they want to show. So these might be under audit, whether you have done something actually, whether you have done whether you have delivered certain things actually is to be taken into consideration here, right? And this hypocrisy has been dealt with. So if you are a corporate giant especially, and labeling you as very environmental responsible, අපි මේ ස්වභාව ධර්මයට හානියක් නොවන විදිහට ඉතාම වගකීම් සහිතව අපේ ව්‍යාපාර කටයුතු කරගෙන යනවයි කියලා මේ බොහොම මොකක්ද උජාරුවට කියන මිනිස්සුන්ව අල්ලගන්න තමයි මේ ක්‍රමවේදය UN එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ, UN එකේ මිහිතල සමුළු, right? So you can't now this knowledge is important when you become a corporate giant, right? You might not be able to become a corporate giant, but you can be an employee there, a giant employee, and you might be involved in this kind of things. You may be the environmental officer, or maybe environmental, I don't know, you can't call it officer, no? Director or someone, right? Then you should know this knowledge because you are you are highly, yes, you are under surveillance by the Earth Summit. So you can't boast, right? Do you understand? So that kind of control is there. Even if you, what is it? For whom? Which person? Ah, right, right, right. So that is now your friend is talking about her presentation, right? And she says that she missed this. Had we had it physically, yes, I would have detected. Or you would have deliberately got detected it, no? I mean, by yourself. So this is the importance of doing it physically. So when you do at home, it's a business between you and your computer. Nobody knows. Do you understand? But when it happens, when it comes to the real world, you have to make the presentation in front of your boss and your colleagues, no? So that is what I really wanted you to come here and do that. Rather than listening to me, you should be practicing yourself. That is what I actually wanted, but it did not happen. And I never expected it to appear on third week. That's very unfair. Yeah, what to do? I mean, anyway, I think I have some control over that. So I will do the needful, right? I'm not talking about the last report. I'm talking about the first one, right? Because I know that you were not sufficiently communicated of that, no? Because when did you get the connection to Canvas? Yeah, that's very unfair. They are not under education responsibility. now, now, had you uh, had you how can I make it? If you were coming here physically, everyone, then you could have easily made a voice against that. So this is the importance. I'm not blaming you. These are the important characteristics of physical classes. You are not all alone. I can remember one of my occasion, my experience, one occasion that happened in law college when I was a law student there. Now there's a lecturer who was a high court judge, I mean retired high court judge. He was lecturing us law of evidence, Sakshi Niti and law of evidence, right? And his daughter was in our group, in our batch. So normally the lecturer has to set the paper. So since his daughter was with us, he said this time I can't do this because that's ethical responsibility, you know. And some other person made the paper, right? You know, as we got the paper, right? I realized I can't even go beyond 40 because what they have tested is not within our syllabus. And we were looking at each other. So we created our own question. Some part was not known to us, right? And we created some, I mean, assuming that this is the question, we have answered that, right? I hope you got it right. Now half of the question is known to us, but the rest we don't know. So half and some putting some another half, we right, we that is what I did, right? I got 66. Now this is what happened soon after the paper. We as a batch we all went to the principal. You don't have deans at law college, you have principal, right? and he asked two persons to come inside, and those two boys went in and discussed the problem, came out, and they explained that the I mean what is needed to be done will be delivered. So we were quite okay, and we went home, and we finished the entire exam, and all got through. I mean, those who could not perform, obviously they failed, right? So this is the importance of going, yes, as a collective group, collectivism. No, collectivism is a value that we have been talking, right? So, right. Yes. Greenwashing, yes, beyond petroleum, right? Multi-million-dollar advertising campaign promoting commitment to alternative energy sources, shifting from oil to energy companies. This is, I think, British petroleum, right? Going green and beyond petroleum, right? Shifting from oil to energy companies, global financial crisis. Since then, so these are some of the actions that they have taken actually, right? These are something that you can take into consideration when greenwashing is in action, right? Now, in 2012, Peter Fleming wrote about the end of corporate social responsibility, aroused public eager to inquire into corporations' actions. CSR operating at the individual firm level. CSR just propaganda designed to cover up parasitic corporate behavior. Now, this is kind of a paradox. Now, some people argue that CSR has come to an end because people are so inquiring, people are so inquisitive. So, for the reason that you have earned money, people might be wanting you to spend those things on projects given by them. Now, for instance, we'll say in a situation like this, right? In a situation like this, there could be some public influence for almost all the big corporates here in Sri Lanka to do some charity. So they are not under they are not doing as a responsibility, but they are anyway under compulsion. So they can't resist themselves, yes, doing it because the influence, because the how can we say, the urge by the public is so high. Now think of a situation like this. Now we have a flooded area, and there is some big company that Mudalhali is there. So these villagers obviously will make a cry on that, no, on the company. So he is not under corporate social responsibility. He has any way to do that. So that's why they have argued, yes, it has come to an end that you will not do it as a responsibility, but you are under obligation to do that, because people are becoming, yes, so vigilant on that. So that is, now these are arguments, right? Now you can argue, in a different way. Now, even if you take a phenomenon like marriage, right, you can argue in different ways. No, some people are for the marriage, some people are against marriage, and some people, yes, neither for or and they have their own philosophical thinking, right? Now this is kind of a philosophical thinking. ඕගොල්ලන්ටත් එක එක දේවල් ගැන එක එක මතිමතාන්තර ඔළුවට එන්න පුළුවන්. So those now you might be thinking it as stupid, but they might not be stupid as you think, because sometimes they are very yes, powerful luminary thoughts sometimes. Yes, environmental social governance commitments, right? There you are. Now instead of corporate social responsibility, someone is talking about what? Environmental social and governance commitment. Yes. Can we have a look at this? Environmental social governance. You can't see it, no? We'll go. Environmental social governance is a new concept, right? The World Economic Forum in the Global Risk Report highlights the below as the main indicator for environmental social governance, right? Now, main hindrances in implementing environmental social governance strategy. Transparency, hindrances, maybe main concerns. Right now, these are, you can't call it hindrances, right? Now a new concept has come into being, just like corporate social responsibility, as what? Yes, ESG, environmental social governance. That's another concept that has been introduced to corporate practice. That's all, right? එක එක කාලෙට එක එක ඒවා එනවා. හරි. I am doubtful whether the word that they have put here is correct. Hindrance කියන්නේ බාධකයක් කියන එකනේ. Right. Now these have to be followed. Right? It has to be transparent, and the body has to be accountable, the company. Measurement standards have to be established. Evolving rules and regulations are to be set. Compliance has to be ensured. Uniformity has to be followed. Assurance has to be given. So these are some of the elements that you have to follow in the practice of environmental social governance, right? Now they have given some concerns on what? Just like corporate social responsibility, this is corporate environmental social governance body, right? So that is, these are the elements of that body which you have to practice, making sure that you follow these standards, right? You have to be transparent, you have to be accountable, right? Now can you all please have a look at this and ask if there is anything that you don't understand. Now I would like you to look at now these are some of the concerns that you pay attention in the practice of environmental social governance. එතකොට ආයතනයක් හැටියට අපි වැඩි නේ climate change ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. ඔය දැන් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. I mean, right? What can we do about it? Right? Maybe we are not doing any harm on the environment, but still, as a practice, as a contribution to the nation, you can have some what? I'm just talking about, right? Awareness programs, right? Even that is important. Now you can understand, no? Then මේ වගේ කාලෙක අපි හිතුවොත් ඩයලොග් වගේ කම්පැනි එකක් ඇවිල්ලා ඔය අර්ත් ස්ලයිඩ්ස් වලක්ක ගන්න මිනිස්සුන්ව දැනුවත් කරනවා නම් so that is kind of right environmental. So I don't know whether they will come forward or not because our corporate social responsibility not that profound no හිතන්නේ නැහැ නේ එහෙම හරිද ඒගොල්ලෝ මං දන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ මොනවට ඩයලොග් ගත්තොත් එමේ මේගොල්ලෝ ලොකු දේවල් මොකක් හරි ආගමික උත්සව වලට නම් මම දැකලා තියෙන බෝඩ් දාගෙන ඉන්නවනේ other than that have you come across with I don't know I haven't this is not only for dialogue it may be applicable for yes all but they might have done small campaigns in schools in remote areas පොඩි හරි ලොකු හරි දේවල් කරලා ඇති අපි දන්නේ නැහැ හැබැයි මේ පැත්තෙන් කළා නැහැ ක්ලයිමේට් එක කවුරුත් කළා නැහැ මොකද ඒ වැඩ මිනිස්සුන්ට වැඩකුත් නැහැ කතා කරලා හැබැයි දැන් තේරෙනවා කොච්චර වැදගත්ද කියලා නේ do you understand so I would like you to look at all these concerns and ask questions from me if you can't understand any of these please yes that is the task student task assignment right you can be concerned about the human capital no you can ask anything I'm just picking here and there right now what is a vision for a company what do you mean by the word vision yes online you might have heard of not might have you should have heard of vision mission then comes what yeah values yeah what else maybe objectives they are not yes publicly open vision mission and values are kept open no for the rest of the public right maybe your objectives and targets are only exposed to the categories of employment right that should be exposed to right so what do you mean by vision your very long term yes target or the position that you want to be if it is a bank to be the most trusted bank in the South Asian region or Asian region that is how you put and you have some paragraph on that no then what is mission that is the gravest misconception that some people have in corporate literacy many think vision is my long term position where I want to be and mission is what are the things that we should be doing to achieve that no it is not that's wrong those are strategies what is mission yes what is mission anyone from the crowd online what is your vision in life to be or not to be සමහර අයට විෂන් එකක් නැහැ ඒක ළමයින්ගේ වැරද්ද නෙමෙයි මම නම් කියන්නේ ඒක අධ්‍යාපනයේ වැරද්ද. ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම හිතන්න මේ අධ්‍යාපනය පුරුදු කරලා නැහැ. Do you understand what I mean? ළමයින්ට දොස් කියන්න බෑ. ඒක රටෙත් වැරද්ද. මේ වගේ රටක ඒ විදිහට ලොකුවට හිතන්න පුළුවන් අය බිහි නොවීමත් යම් මට්ටමක සාධාරණයක් තියෙනවා. I'm not justifying it, but there are certain social factors. So you can't blame, right? හැබැයි ඉතින් ඕගොල්ලන් ඒක ඇති කරගන්න. Your long term vision to be a good person. හත්තා පහක වැඩ නෑ අර ස්මාර්ට් එකක් නෑනේ නේ. We discussed last time, right? So, what is your mission in life? Yes, online. Can someone? Day-to-day practice. Can you elaborate a little? What do you mean by? ඕක වැදගත් ප්‍රශ්න දෙකක් ඔය මේ ආයතනික සාහිත්‍යයේදී අපෙන් අහන. Right? In corporate literature, you know. But we never apply it to the corporate literature itself or our life as well. Had we asked what is my vision in life, or had we asked what is my mission in life, we would have been better people. හැබැයි ඒක පුරුදු කළා නේ. Yes, anyone from the online? Can I name someone? Because I am very well connecting that it to here. Yes. Can someone talk from online? Asele. Darshika.
I hope I'm audible. Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, you are very much audible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So the mission is what explained why the organization exists and what is currently doing to achieve its goals. I think I believe that's what mission is.
Do you believe, or you suddenly checked your Google?
Not really, just
Right. So what you said is correct. That is why we exist for as a company. That is very much related here. Why should a company exist for? Right. With our long-term vision is that to be kunkunku. But why we exist for? On the other hand, I am a person. My vision is to become spiritually. Yes. What can we say? Elevated person, right? And then what can we say? Oh, you have to be a little specific. But why I exist today? That is my mission. So I took two scenarios, corporate scenario and individual scenario. Why do you think that a company is existing for? Yeah, that is first and foremost. ඒක තමයි ආදි කාලේ ඉඳන් ආව එකනේ. Of course, it has to be there because you have to look after your stakeholders, especially the shareholders, right? So when you first and foremost to earn and to make a significant profit out of our business activities. ටික ලස්සනට ලියලා ඇති අර paragraphs වල බලන්න. Right? Then what else? එච්චරද? ඇයි කම්පැනි එකක් තියෙනවන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ තාරින්න බං. හරි right. සල්ලි හම්බ කරගෙන හිටියනම් ඉතින් ඉච්චරයි. ඒ ආදි කාලේ. දැන් we are civilized. That is what I. In corporate culture also now we are very much civilized, at least in what? At least in the philosophy. I don't know whether it is happening in the reality. හැබැයි දැන් මේවා ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා ලෝකෙට. තව වෙන මොනවද? Yes, online. Can someone tell us? To make opportunities for the citizens to have employment. What else? Hey, customers ලට මොනවද දෙන්නේ? To deliver good or how can we say a quality product or a dependable service. සරේම හිතුනේ නේ. මොනවා හරි කළා සල්ලි හම්බ කරපන්. හරි කාව හරි ධම්මල. That's why we had a practice of slavery. Do you understand? Then we had a practice of feudalism. Feudalism කියන්නේ how do you call that in Sinhala? අර මේ එක එක අයට දැන් එක එක කුලවලට කරන්න පුළුවන් එක එක මේ රස්සාවල් විතරයි. හරිද? එහෙම ඒ විදිහට සමාජයේ පැඳිලා තිබ්බ එකක්. Yes, feudalism. I don't get the Sinhala word at once, right? ඒවා තිබුණේ ඔය ප්‍රාථමික යුගවල ශිෂ්ටාචාරය. Now the yes civilization has gone up, it's come up, and the cultured society says that a company should exist for the yes purpose of what? Okay, profit is there, employment opportunities to deliver what else? To that we have discussed, better service, tamuna, to be a contributor to the national economy by paying taxes. ඉස්සර හරි දැනුත් හොරු ඉන්නවා තමයි tax ගෙවන්න නැති අය ඉන්නවා. හරි. At least for the literature purposes we have this. So can you understand? Then you can, as you said, I don't know, you said this making a contribution to the rest of the society, something like that. No, yeah, better. To upgrade the quality of life of the rest of the people, something like that. ඔය ටික එකතු කරලා තමයි mission statement එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. Do you understand what I mean? So now you can see coming here, right? And ඔය කියපුවා මේ තියෙන්නේ. Yes, to make sure that yes, you give concern for what? Human capital, give employment opportunities. That is important, no? And there are certain companies as their principle, they say that we have no gender discrimination, this and that. Those policies have been also adapted. It is some, in a way, for a company, it may not be easy to work with women because they become pregnant and there are certain what relevant acts, legal acts, even in Sri Lanka, right? Only applicable for women. So if I am an employer, right, I might be hesitant to give employment opportunities for women because I am also controlled by what? Some additional set of acts. But still I am under, yes, if I am of the principle that I don't discriminate, right, then I have to offer yes jobs equally. Now here in Sri Lanka, right, we have in our application forms, right, gender of course has to be there, no? Race, religion, this and that. But if you go to a developed country, they don't ask even that. Where do stay is sometimes immaterial, no? They say that it is a discrimination. මොකද ඔයා ඉන්න දුරානුව අපි ඔයාව ගන්නවද නැද්ද කියලා බලනවා. You understand? We are not going by way of the merits of your application, but yes, we are so concerned about the school. මේ school ne? School, whether you are a Colombo born or suburbs or village, ඒවත් බලනවා. ඒවට මිනිසුන්ට හේතුත් තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ හැටියට. Because we are even in culture we are not I would say equal, no? So that matters when it comes to bringing someone to the corporate culture as well. So that also there. And sometimes school also matters, right, as they say. Right, so that is something going against what? Human rights. So make sure that you don't violate human rights in your what? In your corporate practice. That is, we have environmental, social and governance. So I just took 1 or 2 for me to explain that. So now it's your time. I think I disturbed you, right? Okay, go through and ask. Anything that you don't understand, you can ask. So corruption and bribery, even in corporate level, it can happen. No, you go against that, right? And business ethics, adhere to business ethics and board compensation, where compensation is required. Board diversity. What is that? Board diversity. What is that? What is diversity? Board එක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද here? No, what do you mean by the board here? Board of directors, yes. What do you mean by diversity? Well, you can't be uniform in. Yeah, not only not only gender equality. What else? Ethnic equality. Maybe religious equality, right? Those are some of the good practices that you can show your balanced way of doing business. No? Do you understand? So, in that case, some people make it a point to invite, yes, lady and yes, 1 or 2% from minority ethnic groups and religious groups for their board, right? So that ethnic, religious, gender balance, right, is important in board diversity, right? Yes. Online, please have a look at this and ask. Clear? You have to ask, huh? Clear? Yes, online. So that is the end of that topic. Yes, this is going to be a short lesson. So environmental sustainability, delving into, yes, environmental social governance, week 5, right? There are some graphical, pictorial presentations, the path to a net zero future. Yes, global surface air temperature. Now we all know that yes, global warming is a phenomenon that we experience. Let me talk a little on that. Anyone? Yes. I can't ask that question. No, that may be kind of an insult, right? Because I was trying to ask anyone who does not know what is meant by global warming, right? But I know that everyone knows. That is the temperature, yes, of the globe is going up in average. So what happens is there's a phenomenon, the glacier erosion is there, no, right? And those ice becomes water and the sea levels would go up. That is one effect. There could be certain other effects as well. Can we have presentation on that? Oh. Oh my goodness, videos. So the effects are of different types, right? And in a period like this, at least we should see the importance of this, right? Some might not understand the importance of the practices, I mean, avoidance of the practices against environmental pollutions because the effects are not immediate, right? Now, why people are going to get addicted to sugar? දැන් කාපු ගමන් දැන් දිය වැඩි ආවදලා දැන් heart attack හැදෙනවා නම් people definitely keep away from sugar, but the effect is what very long term. It will come into being after a couple of decades sometimes, so they don't see the danger. Same applies to environmental issues as well. අද ඔයා කරාට right ඒක effect එක එන්නේ සමහරකට ඔයත් එක්කම ඔයාගේ ළමයින්ට දෙගොල්ලන්ටම එන්නේ. Right, so people do not react. There are certain there are certain in Sri Lanka there are certain defenses made by many of the citizens and the corporates when they are asked to adhere to these environmental protection standards. What are the defenses? ඕක පොඩ්ඩයි අපි ඕක නතර කරාට ඔක්කොම නතර කරනවා, right? hari mama me ඕක නතර කරනවා. So those are the defenses that we make. I mean, that is not going to now. There's a good example that yes, I am not a supporter or opposer for this government of any of the party governments here in Sri Lanka, because I am a citizen. If something is good, I appreciate. If something is bad, I unconditionally criticize it. Now, what do you think about the government's something very related to this, no? Banning, not banning, yes, taxing on silly bags. Huh? Why you say good? There, some people might argue. I have heard that even in my neighborhood, right? They are very much against. Why? Then bag so they don't see the gravity of this environmental hazard, no? Now, when you look at the consumer behavior, yes, there might be certain people who are not who are not concerned about 5 rupee or whatever. They keep on buying it. But there, I have seen to my eyes, right, the consumer or the customer behavior has become different. Because now they have made it to bring a bag from home, or at least silly bag, go there, Keel's bag, that bag, this bag, right? So that itself shows their concern. And with the passage of time, it will become a automatic habit in their brain. So without knowing this, without any compulsion, this taxes or this taxing has made a significant positive impact on the environmental protection. So that is something to do with not with the corporate practice, but with the government practice. එතකොට ලෝකයේ දියුණු රටවල ඒ විදියට කන්ට්‍රෝල්ස් තියෙනවද නැද්ද? තියෙනවා. අපේ අය කන්ට්‍රෝල් එකක් දැම්මත් කෑ ගහනවා. ඒක තමයි මේක නොදියුණුයි කියන්නේ. නැතු ආදායම නැති හින්දාම නෙමෙයි මේකේ ආකල්ප නොදියුණුයි. තේරෙනවනේ ඔයගලන්ට මම කියන දේ. right? You understand? අපිට ලොකු ආකල්පෙන්නේ අර කෙල්ල මොන කොල්ලත් එක්ක දියාලු වෙලා ඉන්නේ. right? එතකොට මේ නේ එහා ගෙදර මොනවද ඉව්වේ? ඒවනේ. එතකොට අපිට environmental pollution ගැන අපි ලොකු දැක්මක් තියෙනවා. මොනනම් මගුල්. ඔන්න දැන් දැක්මක් ඇවිල්ලා ඇති. right? Even then we have not got something, I would say a clear-cut understanding on the environmental issues. One reason might be the effects are not immediate. That's the thing. I think we have seen some films on this environmental pollutions and bringing after effects, alarming after. What are they? 2000 something, 11 or something like that. I can't remember those films. World becoming to end, something like that. 2012 is. And there was some more, I can't remember. What is that? What is that? What is it?
People are getting sick.
There you are. So that's a very important film that you are talking. You can't give the name. What is the Independence Day is also something like that, no? Yes. So what can we play?
ඔබ දන්නවාද රළු කෙඳි තියෙන ටූත්බ්‍රෂ් නිසා ඔබේ දත් වලට හානි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා දන්ත වෛද්‍යවරුන් නිර්දේශ කරන්නේ soft කෙඳි සහිත toothbrush. soft toothbrush වලට මාරු වෙන්න. Sensodyne toothbrush තෝරගන්න.
We hear it so much that it feels like a buzzword, but it is far from it. Climate change is a real and serious issue. But isn't the climate always changing? What exactly is climate change and why should we care? Well, the Earth's climate has changed throughout history. Most of these slight changes are caused by small variations in the Earth's orbit. But climate change as we know it today is characterized by an abrupt increase in the Earth's temperature. It is estimated to have gotten 1.2 to 1.4.
So that is the graph that we just had, no? He's showing it for some reason.
4 degrees Fahrenheit warmer in just the last century. 10 out of the last 13 years were the warmest on record. 97% of climate scientists agree that this new tendency is not caused by the variations of the Earth's orbit, but rather very likely caused by human activities. That means you and me. And since the Industrial Revolution, we have come a long way. Humans built airplanes, faster cars, developed remarkable technology, and learned how
Yes. Maybe because of
the natural resources around us can be used for our benefit.
because of the environmental hazard that
Although
we are
this has led to many
experiencing. Yes,
wonderful
no?
inventions and advancements, like the device you're using to watch this video, or the ability to take a plane halfway around the world, it also means we've increased our consumption of natural resources and in turn released a lot of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Now, greenhouse gases occur.
Okay. Please have a look at that. Yes, we might not be able to run it.
But in excess can be dangerous to our planet. Modern human activities have increased the release of non-naturally occurring greenhouse gases because we have stepped up our
Right. So this is the graph that he was showing, right? A triple planetary crisis, climate change, yes, changes in climate, which we are experiencing, pollution, yes, and yes, biodiversity loss. That is what ජීව විවිධත්වය කියන්නේ දැන් රටක ඉන්නවනේ සත්තු සහ ශාක, right? Now some plants and animals are endemic, no, that is ආවේනිකයි, right? So that is some part of the biodiversity, right? එතකොට මේ විවිධත්වය කියන්නේ diversity, if we are going to impact on the environment negatively as human beings, as who have the control over the planet, yes, we are going to absorb those species, some of the species who are in danger. Likewise, some species have disappeared from the earth forever. So we know much about climate change. Now we are experiencing it, right? And we know much about pollution, and we should be looking at the biodiversity loss. Now if you look at area like Singaraja or Kannaliya or any other forest that we have, they are highly biodiversified areas. That's why we should protect them, right? Because now there is a saying that when you, right, see a big or huge tree, right, if you are an artist, yes, you would see the artistic glamour of that, right? If you are a lover, or maybe, yes, maybe you are in romance, you would love to go underneath the tree and have some dialogue with your partner. And if you are a timba mudalali, yes, you will see the circumference of that. So that should not be the concern on environment anymore, because whether you are a lover or timber mudalali or this and that, we should see the importance of this environment, right? And on the other hand, it does not mean that we have to be, I think we discussed last time as well, we have to be extremists in this green effect. අපි නිකං මේ හරිතවාදී ආන්තික මිනිස්සු වෙන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ, right? We have to maintain a level of that we protect our environment, that's all, right? So staying within the 1.5 Celsius global warming target will require substantial carbon dioxide removal. So we all know, right, when the carbon dioxide amount goes up, it will contribute to what? Global warming. And global warming has many repercussions, as I told you. Even some islands may sometimes disappear because they will get washed off by the sea. Now Maldives is, yes, is scheduled. Even Italy, no, they have talked about Italy as well, right? Because they are well below the sea levels, and when the warming goes up, right, sea level also goes up, and as a result, yes, things will happen to the adversity, right? So this is actually carbon budget. Yes, every company, rather than every company, every country should have been given their carbon budget. Budget කියන්නේ මට තියෙන දේනේ මට වියදම් කරන්න පුළුවන් දේ, right? So when carbon budget is given for every company, right, every country, it is an important measure to protect the environment. What is the scope of our climate crisis? So we have supply chain emissions, we have scope 3, that is majority of emissions, then we have financial impact on them, right? So this is supply chain, then we have scope, this is the direct emissions by manufacturing. Now these are supply chain just like transport, right? Then we have direct cost financial impact on the emissions that we make from this and this, right? So these are these have to be taken into consideration with due importance, right, and significance. So same thing is coming again. I don't know why they are looking at this again, right? Because we have discussed that environmental social governance. So that's why maybe it is because of this that they are talking, showing that now earlier we discussed the concept, no, then we discussed the matters relating to that, and we also moved on to climate change, and they are showing it again, the importance of that, right? So yes, risks that business face in relation to climate change are multifaceted. හොඳම පාඩම අද වගේ දවසක කියන්නනේ, right? When climate change is on, what are the different types of problems that will be encountered by business? We are not talking about general public, right? We are talking about what? Business. Physical, extreme weather events. ඔය තියෙන්නේ දැන් ඉවරයි business සේරම. දැන් business ගැන මුදලාලි කතා කරත් නැතත් environment ගැන දැන් වෙලා ඉවරයි. ආගස් කැපුවත් නැතත්, right? So that's why as a community that we have to go against what? The activities against the environment, because our entire life, our entire business will be in danger. Water scarcity. So when climate changes are on, right? Yes, businesses, not only businesses, right? But since we are talking about businesses, water scarcity is one thing that we might encounter. So water is not in proper supply, no factory will work, right? Temperature changes, biodiversity loss. Then regulatory, right? So when climate changes are on, there will be carbon pricing. Can අපි emit කරන හැම එකටම අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙයි, because now the environment is changing. There will be regulations. Government will impose regulations. Changing regulations, time to time it will change, so you can't, your company will have to bear those expenses, no? Taxes, like, right? A compliance cost. අරක කරන්න ඕනේ, මේක කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ඉස්සර තිබුණේ නැහැ නේ මේ අපේ carbon test එකක් තිබුණේ නැහැ නේ vehicles වලට. Now you have to spend that, no? It is because of environmental problems have become alarming. See, regulatory. Market problems are there. Consumer preferences will be there when environmental changes are. Investor scrutiny. Investors will come into more scrutiny. Yes. Competitive pressures, right? Then supply chain will also get affected. Resource availability will be lacking. Transportation will be problematic. Now we might not get enough supplies of vegetables in the time to come. Reputational. Yes. Now you have to sometimes incur an expense in the reputational, because public perception is there. They will ask whether you have done the compliance. Then financial. So we might have to give up certain assets, right? Then they will be stranded, and we might have to go for what? Insurance costs, right? Strategic innovation failure, long-term business viability. So sometimes we might not be having enough funds for us to do innovation, and we might not be able to concentrate on innovation sometimes, because our environmental issues are so high. And long-term business viability. If environmental issues are so high, we might not think of business viability, because we don't know at what time our business will collapse. Okay. Can we take a break and come? Right. We'll take maybe 15 minutes and come back. Okay, hope you can see me and hear me. I had a discussion with the subject of an expert in the UN, another lecturer, right? He is teaching some other subjects, so he's his very first subject, very first lecture here. So I got some information about these areas: global warming and sustainability. I mean, environmental sustainability. That's why I took a little bit of your time for me to get something from him, because he has been serving the UN. So the very content that we have been talking, right? So the purpose, this professor says, Colin, the purpose of business is to produce profitable solutions to solve the problems of people and planet, and in the process it produces profits. Look at this. Now this is little bit philosophical. It may not be in harmony with that of a Mudalali type business idea, no? Because now I don't insult any category of business class by using the word Mudalali, but when you use that word, we only look at people not in a kind of attire or whatever, but their ideologies, no? Why we there are some very ethical, very generous Mudalali people from these village areas, but most of them are only money minded. So they don't understand these things, no? Right? These things they might not understand. Now look at this. Why should you start a business? Yes, can you all hear me? I couldn't check you. You're online?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thanks. Right. Why do start a business for? We have discussed that is on mission statement. Right? Why we exist for, no? Then ඇත්තටම මේ business එකක් කරගෙන යනකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ why we exist for is those concerns, no? This and that and this, okay, everything. Looking after your employees, giving employment opportunities, and yes, delivering what do you call dependable and quality product or service for the customers, no? And becoming a contributor to the national economic growth by paying taxes and looking after the rest of the society, from whom that we get the establishment of our business, something like that, no? So මේ business එක පටන් ගන්නකොට අපි කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? Why do start a small bath kade? Why do start? Some people start, yes, without knowing what they are doing. They just start, you know what happens to them. But if you are to start this small bath kade, you should know that there are certain bypasses on that road who don't have enough opportunity, enough place, or other places for them to take this type of a lunch or dinner. There might be this raya kade, there might be saivara kade, there might be what do you call kottu kade, but not bath kade. You know this Matara type, but you know this, how do you call that? Village type. In my opinion, now best, I don't know, I am subject to correction, right? So in my opinion, most of the people like that type of places rather than kottu kadi, no? Kottu kadi, no? I don't know, right? But I have seen some people, yes, many, yes, especially those who are above 30 and 35, they like to have this bath kadi lunch or dinner, right? So I have come across with some some places. For instance, I live in Nugegoda. I have not come across any good place in the entire Nugegoda city for me to go and have that kind of, I don't know, now it has come up all of a sudden, right? One Devon is there, that is horrible, right? I mean, as far as this, what do you call, this type of lunch is concerned, their other stuff may be good, right? Yes, their bread may be good, right? And I have not come across. Now, Nugegoda is a very huge town, visited by many people. Now, there is this need for a boutique or a hotel to come up as what? This type of lunch and dinner. But I have not come across with. There are Toseka days, there are this and that. So if you start that kind of a business, that is what? That is, yes, solving problem. Look at that. Why we have business? The purpose of business is to produce profitable solutions to solve the problems of people, and there you are, and planet. So this is what this Professor Colin Mayer says, right? In the process it produces profit. In the process it produces profits. අපි ලෝකෙට නැත්තම් මිහිතලයට එහෙම නැත්නම් එහි ඉන්න මිනිස්සුන්ට යම්කිසි මේ මිනිස්සුන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් විසඳන්න අපි දෙයක් දීම තමයි බිස්නස් කරනවායි කියන්නේ. මේ process එකේදී we might end up with what? Profits. හැබැයි අපි යන්නේ our ideology is what? First you look at the profit. මොනවා හරි දීලා. Right? So that is not, that is not doing business. You understand? That may be called as exploitation. Huragana cam. Right? So these are new thoughts. ඉතින් මේවා ඇත්තටම මේවා දන්න මිනිස්සුත් එක්ක කතා කරනව ඇරෙන්න කතා කරන්නත් බෑ. Now if you go to a crowd who is extremists and who do not care much about human rights and talk about rights of these LGBT people, yes, we might be blackguarded and kicked off from that places because their ideology is not compatible with ours. We never say, right, we never say that they should be given kind of legally recognized status as some countries say, without asking the general public. If the general public is of the opinion that they should also be taken into consideration, we don't say that. But we are for the right. I mean, they are human right. They shall not be insulted. Something like that. No, these things have to be there. In my opinion, right? So we should not talk about these things in a forum which is not compatible. That is my message to you, right? Yes, adaptation and innovation opens for a myriad of opportunities. So physical adaptation, ගලපා ගැනීම නැත්නම් හැඩ ගැස්වීම, and innovation. Yes, innovation is what? Navotpadan, alut nishpadan, opens a myriad of opportunities. Now, why they are putting this slide here? Because in the earlier slide we discussed that professor was talking, business is nothing but you provide solutions for the problems of community and the planet, right? And the thing is that physical, regulatory, market, supply chain, reputational, financial, strategic aspects are there. Right? Please have a look at this, how you how you adapt yourself and give me 1 second. I'll put this as meeting. Yeah. So how you adapt yourself physically, regulatory, market-wise, supply chain, reputational, financial, and strategic. Right? Please have a look at that. So long-term sustainability commitment and innovation to reduce operational costs, right? So this is how you adapt yourself and innovate, open innovation for you to have myriad of opportunities in the business. Physically, long-term sustainability commitment and innovation to reduce operational costs. Your operational costs can be reduced. What are operational costs? Other than capital costs, running costs. It could be fuel, it could be maintenance, all those things could be electricity, right? So long-term sustainability commitment and innovation to reduce operational costs can contribute physically for you to have adaptation and innovation for the business. Do you understand? So make sure that when you are providing the solution by way of a business, as I told you, it may be a Bath Kade. Make sure that yes, Bath Kade operational costs are minimized. That you switch off all the unwanted bulbs or maybe lights, right? And maybe you minimize the waste, right? So these are what? Yes, operational cost reduction. Yes. Now the slide shows as to what we can do when we are doing business that is providing solutions for some problem of community or planet. For you to go adaptation and innovation, what you should be doing. First one I explained, physically what you can do. Regulatory what you can do is shown here. Market wise, this is what you can do. Now when you are providing, we'll say you have developed some drug for some, okay, maybe for AIDS, maybe for cancer, right? I may be so hypothetical, I know that, right? But still one day, I don't know, a pill would come, no? I don't know, we don't know, because we never thought this chicken pox, cow pox and all those would have been eradicated from the earth, and even leprosy, you know? So they have been eradicated, and even polio, no? Polio was crippling generations. Even my uncle had that thing, and some Veda Mahatya cured, as my mother says. This is, I'm talking about 1940s, right? He became a giant in banking industry here in Sri Lanka, but he was kept in a hospital, and he did not have any cure, but for some fortune, I don't know, my grandfather had been told by one of his friends to get the child discharged and come to kind of a Veda Mahatya, and he took that decision. Hadn't he taken that, my uncle wouldn't have been walking like that. Now today is 85. I mean, he can yes, take me to his hands. I know that he is so heavy, right? So strong. But now this is the importance of what? market. Now, when you develop kind of a new drug, right, that is providing solutions. That's why I talk about these diseases like polio, leprosy, right? How do you market that? No. Now we were talking about now all those drugs were very well financed by the world community, and they had come to Sri Lanka maybe by donation. I don't know much about that, because we also got that polio drops without a single cent, no, being yes. So some agency must have paid for that, maybe World Health Organization or something like that. But that is the market that they have found. No, someone has done research for that, and someone has come up with their drug. No, do you understand what I mean? ඉතින් එහෙම finance කරන්නේ නැති drug එකක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ company හදන්න පුළුවන්. How to market it? The best example is, even I took that during 1999. Now this is PPI, proton some inhibitor. You must have heard of this omeprazole. Have you heard of omeprazole, pantoprazole? That is for gastritis, no? That is to suppress the stomach acidity, right? Now the first drug, if I'm not mistaken, came somewhere around late 80s, right? And that was omeprazole. So how did they market it? At that time, 1990s, yes, omeprazole, one capsule was 80 rupees. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yes, it took only 3 rupees for you to travel from Fort to Nugegoda, 3 rupees. But the drug was 80 rupees. And now you can imagine the market, right? So they were providing new solutions. Now the PPI has also been criticized. That's a different story. But anyway, now the drug is saving a lot of lives, and at the same time it is relieving this discomfort. I think most of people have had at least one episode of gastritis in our lives, no? So we know what kind of a discomfort and tragedy is that, right? So that is how you find, how to do marketing and how to find market. And then how to establish supply chains, no? Supply chains are what? Storage, yes, transportation, maybe, yes, kind of security arrangements, right? All those things. Then reputational, financial, strategic. So this is how you, same as the earlier one, I would like you to look at all these aspects in relation to providing a solution. Why we start a business? To provide a solution. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැති business ආසාවට පටන් අර මම පොත් වලට හරි කැමතියි. මම යනවා නුගේගොඩ ගිහලා පොත් සාප්පුවක් දාන්න. Can I compete with Sarasavi? Of course I can compete with Sarasavi. Then you should be looking at some solution, yes, that Sarasavi is not providing. Then I will flourish, of course. Do you understand? එහෙම නැත්තම් මම අරන් යනෝනේ වෙන කොහෙට හරි පොත් සාප්පු. Then of course I can be another Sarasavi. Now, Sarasavi has been there during my childhood, right? It has been there, right? So it's, I mean, it's, and you have to look at the market as well, no? Because now people are not that, yes, fond of books. I don't know. I'm subject to correction, right? People might not go to buy that many of books. Do they go? I don't know. In your, do you go? You go. Right. Where do you go? Sarasavi, you? Yeah, no, okay. How often? Once a month? No. Then once in 3 months? You never visit. Sometimes to buy an exercise book. So that is what we should be looking at, no? So can we have a look at these, please? I have been explaining as to why we should be concerned about this and ask questions. We have talked about bookshops, drugs, batkade, right? All those examples that we have been taking. Yes, any question, please? Any question? You should be asking at least one. That's why I am giving you, because I can explain everything, each and every one, but I want you to, yes, be engaged in this actively. Yes. Anything? Yes, online. Greener logistics. Maybe you can turn your, maybe you can depend on more on, yes, electric vehicles rather than petroleum driven vehicles. That is one way of looking at it, no? And when it comes to storages and warehouses, you can think of what? Yes, lighting them with solar power. Things like that, right? ඉතින් අපිට ඒවා හිතනකොට නිකන් විහිළු වගේ තේරෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේවා ඔක්කොම කරලා කොහොමද බිස්නස් කරන්නේ? Yes, in a way, in a country like ours, yes, certain things are very difficult even to think, no? දැන් මේ වගේ අපි හිතුව මේ වගේ මේ flooding වෙලාවකදී සමහරලාට රට දියුණු නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ බස් ඇවිල්ලා ඒගොල්ලන් බස් එකට දාගෙන ගිහලා හොටෙල් එකකට දානවා. So until and unless the danger is gone, yes, they will not be allowed to come back, and they will be provided all the meals on the account of the government. Now here government might be intervening into that, but the what do you call the providing of food and other facilities are not up to the standard of that they have been living, no? The මිනිස්සු එන්නේ හරි අකමැති. දැන් අපිට යන්නේ කොහොමද? අපි යනවද දැන්? We might go sometimes when the water level maybe becomes like this, because we know where are we going and we know what kind of living standard that we were having at home. It's stupid, that I understand, but look at how our brain works. තව පොඩ්ඩක් කිමු කියලා මේ එනවා ඉතින්. Right? People might think in that way as well. So you can't, of course they are blameworthy, but still we need to understand how the brain. හැබැයි ගොනම් ටක් ගාලා බඩු ටික අරගෙන බස් එකක් එනවා, you are going to a hotel. දුවලා එනවා ටක් ගාලා. I mean, if you are, at least your family is given one room, කිව්වොත් එහෙම එනවා. It may not be practical for some developed countries, that I understand, in this kind of a scale of disaster, but still they might be having certain higher living standards, no? අරකට ගියාම එක ටොයිලට් එකයි මිනිස්සු 70කට 80කට maybe 2-3 toilets. Don't know whether they are also on commission or they are also broken. We don't know, no. So people might think, right? So why I mentioned that? Because of this thing, logistics, right? Yes, online people. You're okay online? I think I have given enough time, no, for you to ask. All right, as systemic change, an economic model for business growth and environmental stewardship. So while now we need to do business, of course, when we are doing business, we are, yes, to a certain extent, we will be harming the environment, which you can't avoid. No, you are going to build up a hotel nearby a river, nearby a forest. So that kind of business is needed, no, for especially for a country like ours. We might not get enough tourism, because these tourists, they might need a place for them to come after a heavy workout of traveling. They might need some place for them to relax, no? So if hotels are only they are in Colombo or maybe in towns, it may not be that attractive, and people might not come there because they have enough and more countries for them to go and have the fun, or fun in the sense education, yes, fun, whatever, traveling, all those experience can be taken from other countries as well. Now Maldives is doing very well, we all know, no? What do they have? They have solar power, they have sea power, and they have some little bit of land power. That's all, no? That's all. Do they have waterfalls? They might be having some artificial waterfalls, right? Natural things are not there. They don't have forests. They don't have biodiversity as such. Malui, ඔච්චරයි. But they have made it a business, right? So how do you keep a balance between this economic development and environmental stewardship is a concern, right? As I have told you, when you are starting a business, my dear friends, there is a harm that you are causing to the environment, of course, because you are disturbing the status that the environment was having in its atmosphere. So you are disturbing and you are occupying that place, right? Do you understand? Right. So a regenerative system in which circular economy, resource input and waste emissions and energy leakages are minimized through slowing, closing and narrowing energy material loops. So this is one way. Circular economy, regenerative system in which Pratijanani, in which resource input, waste emissions, energy leakage. Waste එක අවම කරන. Right? Emissions අවම කරනවා. That is අපි මේ එළියට දාන දේවල්. Energy leakages. And are minimized through slowing, closing and narrowing energy and material loops, right? So then you have sustainable production, eliminate waste and pollution closer to the loop, keep the products and materials in use for the longest time possible at their highest value, right? Now regenerative business culture, basically they are talking about that you can regenerate. Yes, now for instance, if you are maybe if you are into the business of something to do with paper, then paper can be recycled so that it can be given to some other company to make paper bags, right? I think you are aware of those things, no? And energy leakages can be made minimized, right? So this is how you are going to look at that economic, yes, model for business growth and environmental stewardship. That is, in other words, how to keep a balance between business improvement, business growth and what? Environmental concerns, right? So that is an economic model. What the economic model says is to minimize these energy leakages and recycle, reproduction, right? All those things, right? These are some of the things that you should be taking into consideration when you want to do business. Please have a look at this. They are showing circular economy here, what they are proposing, what they appreciate, what they value, right? This is UN agency. And what we normally do, right? ගහෙන් මොනවාරි ගත්තා, පේපර් කොළ හැදුවා, කොළ පාවිච්චි කළා, කොළේ විසි කළා. And this paper will be a burden on the environment. Unless we make use of that paper again for some other purpose, this is what? Linear economy. රේඛීය ආර්ථිකයක් තමයි මේ තියෙන නිෂ්පාදනය අතින් බැලුවාම. now ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ චක්‍රීය circular චක්‍රීය ආර්ථිකයක් ගැන තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කතා කරන්නේ. Yeah, please have a look at this. This is I have explained. Have a look at this, have a look at this and ask questions. You can't be silent, right? Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Anything that you don't understand? So rather than making a waste, no, I mean, you can't bring it to zero. You can't bring it to zero, but here we take raw materials, then you do the production, right? Then you can remanufacture something else, then the distribution of both, right? The consumption, use, repair, and you collect it, right? And recycle it and put it to the economy back. You have raw materials for computer and plastic production, and you do that, right? And if that is remanufacturing is needed, yes, you do that, right? Then go for the distribution, and the customers, consumers use for couple of years. Then the collecting agents would collect those plastic materials and give it to those companies who are interested in that kind of plastic industry, and put it back to the economy. So they might be using it not as plastic, something else. එතනට දුන්නාම ආයි එතනත් ආයි පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒක. Right? So this is called circular economy. Maybe for some it may be very hypothetical, I understand that, right? But still this is available, right? I mean, available in the sense this can be done if properly planned, right? Environment, right? Please have practical strategies. Do this for integration. Yes, sustainability, circularity, transformative modes and innovation. Please have a look at this. So sustainability of sustainability of environmental social governance, environmental impact assessment considering biodiversity impact, and so you can do environmental assessments, right, regularly. Social equity towards employees, communities and stakeholders, right? Governance and long term economic viability. So these are to maintain or sustain what environmental social governance practices, right? What is that? To have environmental assessment. Second one, to maintain social equity, samaja sadharanatva towards employees, communities. So keeping balance between their interests, I have talked a lot, no? And governance, long term economic viability. මේ ආර්ථික වශයෙන් පවත්වාගෙන යන්න ක්‍රමවේදයක් හදන එක, right? Then you have circularity principles. Eliminate waste and pollution, which we discussed. Keep products and materials in use for the longest time possible. Regenerate natural ecosystems. So these are some of the circulatory, chakriya. Then you have transformative. You can parivartaniya, right? Business models, reverse logistics and take back scheme, resource recovery, refill and reuse systems, product as a service, shared economy models. Please have a look at this. Now, these are practical strategies for integration of business. Again, what is the integration? Having balance between business growth and environmental sustainability. So that is the integration. What we can do, sustainability practices, circulatory principles and transformative business. ලොකු වචන මම හැබැයි ඒකයි සිංහල වචන දෙකියුවේ. sustainability is පවත්වාගෙන යාම, right? circulatory is චක්‍රීය, right? එකෙන් එක අපි අර කිව්වේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේකෙන් මේක චක්‍රීය රීතීන් නැත්නම් ප්‍රතිපත්ති. ඊළඟ transformative කියන්නේ පරිවර්තනීය. එකෙන් මේකට මාරු කරනවා. you understand? වචනේ මේ වචන පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙනවා ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවේ මේ ඕගොල්ලෝ ඔෆිසර්ස් වල වැඩ කරනවා, right? otherwise then transformation කියන එක කියන්න ඕනකම තියෙනවා වචනේ නැත්තම් අවුලක් නේ ඔෆිස් එකේදී. do you understand? not only specifically in office but everywhere in your life it is needed, right? to understand, right? Please have a look at so this is how you integrate business growth, economically business growth and environmental sustainability. So these two of course you can understand. Transformative, parivartaniya, right? Reverse logistics and take back scheme. That is, if something is not wanted, you can take it back to the original source place, right? That so your raw materials will not be wasted in vain, right? It could be anything, right? It could be soil, it could be timber, anything. Refill and reuse systems, right? Yes, product as a service. So you make use of product that you render a service. Shared economy models, leasing, renting, subscription. So you can share it with some other business. So that is transformative, right? Case studies not needed. Did we discuss this thing? No. Yes. So they are talking about so can we have precious and rare materials, gold, silver, copper? So these are very rare and they are, why they have become very precious? Because they are very rare. Now why gold has become this golden, right? Because it's very rare, no? So other than the traditionally precious elements, we have cobalt, palladium, indium, germanium. These are also important, right? Material world, its environmental and socio-economic impacts. So environmental impact, social impact and economic impact, right? Toxic chemical release polluting groundwater, air and soil. Impact on biodiversity. GHG, I'm sorry, I can't figure it out what GHG stands for, right? Through the product life cycle, water intensive use and water pollution, land use. So you can see environmental concern. Then you have social concerns, informal sector, exposure to toxic chemicals during extraction, recycling, right? Risk of child labor, risk of corruption and illegal trade. So these are some of the social issues in environmental and socio impacts in business. Then you have economic, right? Resource scarcity and annual losses are being incurred, material losses and environmental leakages. Of course, environmental leakages can come here as well. So this material world of business can be weaved in environmental and social and economically. Maybe you can have more points than this, right? Yes, these of course you can have a look at, right? Yes. Now, give me 1 second. Where are we? Yes. So strategic priorities can be given in supply chain, operations, and product and services. Please have a look at this. So when maintaining balance between business growth and environmental sustainability, you can pay attention for supply chains, operations, and product and service. Now this can be easily understood, and this is very important for your business. So green procurement, that is buy as much as possible in the green way, even bags, no, if it is possible, right? Sometimes it is not possible because polythene may be needed, right? Promote circular economy, yes, that we discussed. Sustainable packaging, not to be used once, right? Operations, your operations can be digitalized, data centers can be established, zero waste strategies. So this is how you can make use of operations, right? Then product and services, maintenance, right? Remote performance monitoring and analysis, product life extension and take back schemes. So these are some of the practices that you can make use of in terms of strategic priorities. So when you are making your strategic planning, these are some of the priorities that you should be looking at in the time to come, right? Now earlier you may not be having enough concern for these things. Supply chain, you allow it to happen, right? Now there are certain concerns that you can make use of, even in operations, no, right? And product and services, these are some of the practices that you can follow in making the strategic priorities, right? Can we stop here, because some people are not come even online, and I might have to take the other class maybe 1 hour more, because we didn't do classes last time, and that is their last class, the next lecture. So I need some rest, right? You have any question before we wind up? Next week, definitely. I don't have another class. No, from next week in the evening, I can jolly well go up, right? So get ready, we can go even 12:30 if it is needed. No, we'll stop at 12, right, next week. Yes, any question from online, please? I had a class yesterday, but we couldn't do it. So I had to compensate it today. because that is their last class. That's why I'm giving you I'm releasing 12, it's, yes, almost 11:30, right? So we'll meet next week as usual and go up till 12 o'clock. And when is next assignment is due? You said, no, that is. So we have to get ready from next week. So I'll be talking on the assignment every week from next, right? So you can maybe you can ask, best practice is to ask questions from this end, and everybody will get benefited rather than you contacting me personally and asking. Yes, you can do it and nobody will laugh at you, right? You can ask any baby's question because this is a class. And yes, I want you to get the best results for you, right? And that's why you have taken up this kind of a course, no? Yes, consuming your time and investing your money. So you should be looking at the best possible grade. No? You should not give up for a cheap grade, in my opinion. So we'll keep on doing it from next week, right? Please be ready. And for online, please read it and come. We might not be able to do it everything from next week, but we can give some sketches so that somewhere around Christmas you can just have the final touch-ups. And it's a matter of what? It's a matter of just submitting. Some people have submitted even before the deadline. Some people can't even imagine about that, no? That's the thing, right? So doing it before deadline is the best practice, right? And we can finish it off easily when things are in order, right? So please be ready with the assignment from next week, right? And I want you to talk. As far as the assignment is concerned, today I could not play anything because, the signals are not powerful enough, and we might be able to do it from next week. So, any question from online, please? Any question from online? Right. Okay. Then we'll stop here and start from there next week, right? Thank you very much for those who have come all the way from home. I am so facilitated by your presence because I feel at least, yes, some living beings are in front of me, right? That is important for my sustainability in lecturing. Right? When you become a lecturer, you will realize the importance of having at least 2-3 people like this, yes, in front of you for you to unleash your energy. Otherwise, you have to be very hypothetical and thinking that the other people are alive and keep on talking, because it's Sri Lankan practice that when you are online, you don't talk. No? Some might be of the practice that they show that they are online and maybe they are doing some other work, maybe washing, cleaning their dog or whatever it is, right? Those practices are also there. I don't say that those who are online would do the same, but it can happen. Okay, then we'll meet next week. Stay very safe, and you know what are the precautions that you should be taking as far as this adverse weather condition climate condition is concerned. So stay safe and take care of yourself and your loved ones as well. Thank you very much for coming and connecting online as well. Yeah, take care.